Crazy Daisy doesn't faze me, but Harry Cherry, very scary. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no.
Hello YouTube and welcome to WTFRUreading.com. I'm Frishawn and I'm here to let you guys know how I did with BookTube-A-Thon 2015. I read 10 books this time, and because I read so many books and I had no way of organizing them, I figured that I would start out by letting you know what challenges I completed first. The first challenge that I'm happy to say that I completed, and the one that started the running theme of Sherilyn Kenyon's Dark Hunter that you're going to see throughout this video, was Dragonbane by Sherilyn Kenyon. This book also came out on August the 4th and was given to me as a review copy by St. Martin's Press. Thank you so much, St. Martin's Press. For those of you who are not familiar with Sherilyn Kenyon and her Dark Hunter series, this is the latest book in the series that spans some, I believe, 24 volumes, but don't quote me on that because different sources say different things. But fortunately, I have found in reading this that each book tells the story of a specific Dark Hunter and a specific love interest, even though they are all interrelated. So you can read these in any order without it causing that much of a problem in the series as a whole. I highly recommend this book. I gave it 5 stars. Again, that is Dragonbane, which is the story of Maxis and Seraphina. It came out on August the 4th, and it is published by St. Martin's Press. The second book that I read was Night Embrace. I read this to satisfy the challenge of reading a book with blue on the cover. This is also a book from the Dark Hunter series. It tells the story of Talon and Sunshine. I gave this book 5 stars as well, but it had to work a little bit for those 5 stars. This is a very good book. Again, this is the story of Talon and Sunshine, and it fulfilled my challenge of having something with blue on the cover. The third book I have is Night Play by Sherilyn Kenyon, which is the story of Vane and Bride. This was a book that I really wanted to read. That was the challenge that it fulfilled. Read a book that you really want to read. The story of Vane and Bride. Vane is a werewolf and Bride is a human. And this turned out to be a very, very awesome read. It did not let me down. This is one of the more romantic reads of the series, and once again, this is 5 stars and I highly recommend it. Okay. Then I have a book that fulfilled actually 2 of the challenge requirements, and those 2 requirements are: read a book that is someone else's favorite. This book happens to be the booktuber Tiernan's favorite because he is a big Rick Riordan and Percy Jackson fan, so I took a cue from him and read that. And it also fulfilled the requirement of reading a book that is written by an author that has the same first initial of his last name that you do. My last name happens to be Rashid right now, and so I picked Rick Riordan. With the challenge of reading a book that you did not put down, I read the novella A Dark Hunter Christmas, which again is part of my quest to read all of Sherilyn Kenyon's Dark Hunter series. This book was very good. It was not a romance. It was the story of Gallagher, who is now a dark hunter but was once a notorious gangster, and how he finds his family in the dark hunter verse with all of the other dark hunters that he comes to be accepted by. This was a very good book, and it once again fulfilled my challenge of reading a book that I couldn't put down. The last challenge that I fulfilled by reading was the challenge of reading the last book that you acquired. The last book that I acquired during the readathon was Consumed by You by Lauren Blakely. This is the third book in her Fighting Fire series, and this was a book that I really enjoyed. It is a very lighthearted, easygoing, erotic romance, and it was just published by Entangled. I received this book for review, and I loved it. I gave it 5 stars. And the last challenge was to read 7 books. As I said, I read 10. So now that I've told you about the 7 books that I read in order to fulfill the challenge with the ones that I'm going to add, I'm going to tell you about the rest of them. The next book on my quest for Readathon Glory was None of the Above by I.W. Gregorio. This is the story of a young lady who is intersexed, meaning that she is genetically born with both sexes, even though her gender identity is female, and she has to learn to deal with that and the fallout of what happens when her diagnosis is made public. This is a very good book. It is contemporary, and it is GBLTQIA, and I gave it 4 stars. Here we go, back on the Sherilyn Kenyon bandwagon with No Mercy. This is a Ware novel as well. This is a story of who is this? This is the story of Devereaux and Samia. Samia happens to be an Amazon. So, and Devereaux, who is related to Vane from the previous book that I showed you, Night Play, is a werewolf. So, if you like your books full of kick-ass heroin action, this is the book for you. I believe this is the final book that I'm going to show you. It's the second novella that I read, which is also part of the Night Hunter series by Sherilyn Kenyon, and it's called Winterborn. It is the story of Dante and Pandora, and what happens when the Categoria, who are the animal-born shifters, go forward in time and seek to kidnap the Arcadians who they want to breed with, but they kind of get foiled by some modern day wares, and things get very sexy and full of action, and this is also great. Thank you so much for bearing with me through all of my ranting and raving about all of the books that I read. Please feel free to leave me links or discuss all of the books that you read. If there's anything that I have shown you that you would like to have a review of, let me know. Tell your friends, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Bye-bye.